chasing the stars, we'll stride into the dawn. Never back down till the battle is won. Face each foe with hearts brave and true, unafraid of the unknown, because I'll face it all with you.
Hello, I'm the reviewer. You review it, I review you. This is my partner, Mr. It. Patreon request today, Decker Shado's review of Gammera the Invincible.
Last time on Midnight Rank Theater.
Me.
Hello, World Wide Web. I'm Decker Shado, the internet personality with the best hair.
Me. Also, apparently this is a co-review with the creator called That Long-Haired Creepy Guy. He chose that name? Something about Decker incorrectly using black magic and entangling their channels? Me. I'm just glad Creepy Guy's fully clothed now.
The film opens to several shots of painfully obvious miniatures, but if I'm to be honest, they are pretty high quality for the time period.
It's almost as if practical effects aren't always the bandage that CGI haters claim it is.
Decker. We've barely gotten started. Leave some things to talk about as the film progresses.
Oh sure, if I take advice from you on how to do my reviews, next thing you know I'll be reviewing Planet of the Erotic Ape in my underwear.
Well, why don't you?
The fact that he's considering it!
Only a nuclear bomb could cause a blast like that.
You're right. It was one of those jets we saw. And here I stand staring at that cloud when I ought to be taking a shot of the year. A great news photographer I am.
Might get a nice picture, but what will the headline be? Atomic explosion rocks frozen wasteland. Nothing killed.
What about the pilot carrying the nuke?
However, that doesn't mean there are no repercussions, as mere minutes into this film, we are already introduced to the real star of the show, Gammera.
I feel like more kaiju movies could stand to learn that lesson.
Strangely enough, though, this expedition doesn't seem to notice that minor detail.
To be fair, the monster was being blocked by the credits.
They can identify aircraft nationality from ground level with the naked eye, but nobody notices a bipedal turtle of that size amidst the barren landscape? What?
I'm sorry, I still quite haven't gotten over the snarky plushie thing.
Bite me.
I've only known Chibi Thulu for about 5 minutes, but if anything were to happen to him...
Anyway, the debate is painful to watch, as Contra's position is that if it hasn't been disproven, it must be 100% true, while Manning holds the opposite but similar stance that anything that hasn't been proven must be 100% false, leading to an argument so pointless it doesn't really matter that we can't understand what the fuck they're saying.
Something Twitter.
The mysterious flying saucer makes its way to Japan, where we meet Miss Sakurai, whose little brother Toshu is an unusually avid fan of, guess what? Turtles.
But not of the teenage ninja variety. Me.
This has to be the most uncaring family on top of it, as his sister and father gang up on him, demanding he set free his small pet turtle, despite how little it could possibly disrupt things at home.
I don't know. At first, sure, but in later years, turtles can be kind of a pain in the ass to take care of.
The monster moves on to a geothermal power plant. Of course, they didn't have one of those model sets available, so they just used a spare nuclear power plant for this scene.
Ah yes, a spare nuclear power plant. We all have one in our back sheds. Who told you?
Hold on. 200 million years ago, there was a lot more oxygen in the atmosphere than there is now. It was the beginning of the Jurassic period in the middle of the Mesozoic era.
Decker.
Before the Earth was oxygenated, it was the Precambrian era.
Decker?
That was more like 4.5 billion years ago, and there was only single-cell life forms then!
Decker!
What?
It's a kaiju film from the 1960s. If anyone uses it as research for their science project, they deserve to fail.
Me when people use Disney's Pocahontas for a history lesson. Pretty sure I've seen Ash's Squirtle do that.
Our fuel supply is now dangerously low.
Wait a minute. What in the hell?
Our men are working around the clock to complete the installation.
You'd think the American studio would try maybe just a little to not offend the Japanese audience.
In the 60s? Yeah, right! Honestly, I'm surprised the movie was dubbed at all back then.
Are you serious?
I'm starting to think that Pokemon took quite a bit from this movie.
Anyway, that was Gammera the Invincible.
I know.
No,
What?
It was alright.
Okay, we've been reviewing reviews for over 10 years and been watching them for even longer, and I have never seen anyone do that gag in a collab. It's not the funniest bit, but I give them credit for doing it. And honestly, that's kind of my feelings on this video as a whole. I had a few chuckles here and there, but it was mostly a pretty straightforward review. And while I'm not particularly interested in kaiju movies, I am curious to see more of Decker's work. I'm the review reviewer. You review it, I review you.
What are you doing up?
General insomnia. You?
I was just admiring the view. Few things in this world are prettier than the moonlight touching the sea. I've missed this view since moving to Hat Hall.
Why did you move in anyway? I mean, I know Mistus hired you, but wouldn't you rather be in, or at least close to, the water?
Not particularly, no. I hail from a kingdom deep below the surface of a lake hidden in the middle of England. From a young age, I was trained in combat until the time came I would become the personal bodyguard to our princess. On my first days, we locked eyes, and it was love at first sight. How I cherished every moment with her. Until we were visited by royals from the Atlantic, including their prince.
Arranged marriage?
No, I imagine that would be far less painful. You see, she and him had been writing each other for many years at that point. When he arrived, they took to the ballroom, dancing the night away. I saw the way she looked at him. How I longed for her to look at me with those eyes. The next day, he had proposed to her, and they were to set off to his kingdom immediately. As she was becoming part of his royal family, it fell to his royal guard to protect her. Thus, she left me behind. So, without a job, I decided to take to land, offering my services as a bodyguard to any maiden who desired it. I believe you know the rest.
I'm so sorry.
You know what really hurt about it the most? Well, I knew that we weren't lovers. I had thought that we were at least good friends. But when she left, she had little more regard for me than the rest of the castle staff.
I just know I'm gonna regret this.
What are you?
You get one dance. And I swear, if you tell anyone about this...
Thank you, reviewer.